Hey there, everyone. KCR Jones here. And this is not going to be from the shipping box episode. This is going to be something a little different. If you know my friend Brian from Real Toy Trains, he made a video when the Lionel milk cars first came out, or the newer ones. And this is going to be a video kind of like that one, where we have the, if not the originally announced and, made, die-cast flat cars with the wood load. And this is the newest rendition of these cars, which is the one with the Sherman Tank. I won this on an eBay auction, and I thought I was going to do it from the shipping box episode, and I thought, it's just a flat car. It's just one, and I had this at the museum, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and open it already, because I want this video to be a little shorter than the other ones, hopefully. But I didn't have the other car with me to compare it with. And by the way, this just shows how old this product is if you look at the old SKU number. This, I believe, was cataloged in like 2006. It's not a new car by all means. In fact, this in particular, this one was one of my first scale cars I ever got in O scale. I was going to say right away, you can probably tell a few differences from the older boxes from Lionel is that you got styrofoam inserts. Styrofoam costs a lot to manufacture these days, which is why a lot of stuff is plastic, but here is the car itself. Comes with the crates, it's a real wooden load, die cast, body, nice metal finish. There's one of my stickers, by the way. I believe, the Lionel emblem is heat stamped. I'm not sure how well you're going to see that, but there's a little Lionel emblem in there. But as you can see, the trucks, they have the hidden couplers to make that beautiful sound. And of course, the car sits and rolls on O-gauge 3-rail track. That's what it's built for. Alright, and here is the new, I believe it was 2019 cataloged, the new flat car with the Sherman Tank. And the first thing you notice is the box is a little bigger than the older ones. And like I said, when you open it, you don't get the styrofoam inserts anymore. You get these plastic ones. Now, I have no preference. Just a heads up, I could care less about how it's really packaged. I will say these plastic ones are a little tricky to open sometimes. But other than that, they hold the car just fine. And here is the car itself. Now the first thing you notice is the wood load on top. If I can get these crates off. Ignore the sticker in the holes. It's fairly similar. Nothing wrong with that. This one definitely feels like it's a little older, but in other words, they feel like identical, They're the same length, as you can probably see. They're both stamped in the same area. They both have the same actual amount of planks on them as well, if you want to pause the video and look. But the more I look at this car, the more I realize the very first thing I noticed, different-wise, is that there's no finish on the new one. I'm not sure how well you can tell that, but if I put it right there, you can see the older one has a nice finish. The other one is dull. Now, personally, I actually like the dull one better. If you ever look at freight cars, they're never like shiny. They're a little dull here and there, especially, the underneath of the car where a lot of the running gear gets, dirt kicked up and all that. And I will actually take out the Sherman Tank load for the point of this video. The thing that really disappointed me with this was I thought this was going to be solid die cast. No, it's actually plastic. And you do get these little chocks. I guess they're actually chocks that I would assume you put on these holes. Because on the crate load, because of course this is a different load entirely, you had these little prongs that just go right in the holes, like that. On the new ones, you get these little sticky tape things you have to peel off. and you stick them on there. Like I said, I'm personally not sure if I'm going to use these tank loads or not. I thought I was just going to use the flat car as a flat car for itself. Alright, so the first thing I want to show is, like I mentioned, the older Lionel trucks, you have these nice tabs and that nice metallic sound on both the trucks. Now these are personally my favorite kind of trucks in O-scale 3-rail, by the way. I love the little hidden uncoupling tab, the fact that the knuckles articulate from the truck. I love that. It's one of the greatest little features, especially with tighter curves and S-bends on your layout. On the new one, these trucks are hollow. Again, I'm not sure how well you're going to see it, but it's a plastic truck. There's no real frame on it, like we got with the previous ones. And the tabs, these uncoupling tabs, I'm glad that the thumbtack is gone. That's one of the big pet peeves. Let me see. It's right behind me. This is my Halloween 50-foot PS1 double door boxcar. Just for a heads up of what the actual product is. And these trucks, I think this is one of the first cars I got of this type. If you look, it's the same kind of truck, but there's this huge thumbtack coupler. Now, the thumbtack coupler isn't the worst. If it's mismanufactured, sometimes they hang a little low like that, and it's just low enough to hit the third rail sometimes on small hills. But the solution to that would, you just put a little piece of electrical tape over the thumbtack. The issue would be gone because, you know, the electrical tape does not conduct electricity. But with these new ones, Lionel, I remember people were complaining about the mismanufactured thumbtacks on some of them, and Lionel said, we'll remove the thumbtacks on future releases and still have the hidden uncoupling tabs. But the problem was, when they did this mechanism, I think the milk car is a great example to show just how sometimes they can be really rigid. And fortunately, these ones aren't rigid. Unfortunately, they're a little loose. Like, you pull the uncoupling tab from here, the knuckle opens up, it does close back down, but that is pretty loose. I'm putting like no effort, and that's going all the way down. And it was so much, in fact, that the front one, I had to put a little sticky tack in the hole to keep the plunger from actually moving, or not the plunger, the tab, because if I just pulled on that very lightly, it would come undone. Look at how far I'm going to push this down. See that? The slightest bit of anything, the front one comes undone. And I think I got it eventually when it was rolling the other night. It came undone. So what I did was I took this little bit of sticky tack. If you just fill that hole up so that the thing can't move, I'd rather have a coupler that doesn't open than a coupler that opens too much. I'll put it like that. Anyway, there we go. That's good. And yeah, you know, it's not the best that they're doing this. I will say that would be the only issue, though. You know, the trucks are not articulate from, or the couplers aren't articulate from the trucks. They're fixed as it's done, as you know. You can't turn this independently, whereas the original ones you could. I almost forgot. The trucks on the old one are sprung. See that? How it's sprung? These new ones are static. Lionel's gotten rid of the sprung abilities on these trucks. Those are just cast in. So the truck isn't as bouncy as it used to be. But like I said, I hope this video was informative, folks. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. That'll mean the world to me and the channel. It'll just help out with everything. If you do want to see more trains running, by the way, this unfortunately isn't a running video. This is just looking at, you know, what's a little different on these models is all. Because it's the same car. You know, granted, this is New Haven, this one's New York Central, but they made a bunch of road names for these too, in both runs, and there's other runs with different loads, and I'm trying to get a lot of those because I really like these flat cars. They look good. But just a little heads up, I couldn't find a single video on these cars, so I knew I had to say something. Yeah, again, it's not a big issue, but know that the couplers on the newer Lionel stuff from here on, I believe, is going to be a little different to what we're used to. Again, it's fine, but this is just basically a heads up kind of video. Like I said, if you haven't already, go watch some of the other videos on the channel, guys. I'm sure no one likes listening to me ramble on for so long about the differences of a model train car. So like I said, until next time, stay safe and take care.